What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So it's not often nowadays that I get to try out a smartphone from a brand that I've never used before, but in this video we'll be doing just that. This is the New Mobile G3 Plus, and this is the first time I've actually gotten to use anything from New Mobile. They're a budget smartphone brand that's actually been around for a while now, and some of you guys might already be familiar with them, but this is one of their latest devices that came out just a couple of weeks ago. It's an update to their standard G3 that's been out for a little while, and I'll of course talk about what's new and what's different with this phone in particular. But the most important thing to note about this device, in my opinion, is the price. In a world of $1,000 smartphones, brands like New are breaking the mold by coming out with really solid devices at a great price point. The G3 Plus retails for just $230 fully unlocked right now, and if you are interested in learning more about this device or perhaps picking one up for yourself, you can snag one on Amazon right now, and I'll leave a link down below for you guys to check that out. So before we go any further, I'd like to take just a second to give a special thanks to today's video sponsor, Bookmark.com. If you're trying to create an online presence for yourself or your business this year, or maybe you'd like to just build a simple website but don't know where to start, Bookmark is an easy to use and completely free website builder powered by AI. You can create a professional looking website in just a matter of minutes by answering 7 simple questions and letting Ada, Bookmark's artificial intelligence design assistant, do all the rest. There's hundreds of themes and styles to choose from, including e-commerce integration to take your business to the next level, and it can all be done with no programming or coding skills required. If you're interested in getting a jumpstart on building your online presence in 2019 with a free and easy to use website builder, check out the link in the video description to bookmark.com to learn more, and thanks so much again to Bookmark for making today's video possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this thing and see what you get for that price. Right off the bat, the unboxing experience here is, I think, flagship quality. You get a super nice presentation with lots of different things included. Sitting right on top is the phone itself, and you can see already some of the specs of this device, including a 5.7-inch 720p display, 4GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, the 2.39 GHz octa-core processor, dual cameras, and a fingerprint sensor. And I'll of course be going over all of those specs and features in just a minute. Around back, there's also some info on the dual SIM card tray and expandable storage, and all things considered here, this device already packs a ton of stuff for the price. Digging a little deeper inside the package, you get a nice little thank you note from New Mobile, as well as a couple stickers. There's an instructional booklet too if you need that, and what's really nice is that the folks over at New also include a clear case inside the box for your new phone. It's a simple, thin TPU case that's obviously very flexible, but at least you've got something to keep your new device scratch-free, and I always appreciate getting a little added protection thrown in when buying a phone like this. As far as everything else, you've got your charging brick and USB cable. This phone is USB-C, so that's great to see. There's an ejector tool for swapping out SIM and micro SD cards, and fortunately, you do get a dongle included in the box because, unfortunately, this phone does not have a headphone jack. But that's pretty much what I've been used to for a number of years now, so I guess I can't really complain. All in all, a super nice presentation for a budget device like this with really everything you need to get started. And obviously, the device itself looks really awesome too. This is their brand new Onyx black color, which is specific to the G3 Plus and a new color for them overall. It's sort of a shimmery, shiny, blackish gray that I think looks really good. It gives the device a high quality look and feel, and no, this isn't a plastic phone. This device rocks an all glass build, so it certainly feels premium in the hand, and I was definitely impressed. You've got all your buttons on one side of the phone, including a textured power button. The USB-C port is on the bottom, along with a speaker and microphone, and overall, it looks and feels like a flagship phone, at least with the build and construction, and just on that point alone, I already feel like I'm getting my money's worth. Now, while the phone does look great on the outside, it's only as good as the specs it packs and how it performs overall during day-to-day use. Because this is a budget device, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit here, but I think overall, New did a nice job offering a complete package with not a whole lot of compromises. While the 5.7-inch HD display is just a 720p screen, I think it still looks great, and you're getting a really enjoyable viewing experience from every angle. The tall 18:9 aspect ratio gives you a ton of real estate to work with, and New kept things simple with no notches or cutouts, just a seamless display from top to bottom with still a pretty decent screen to body ratio. Colors look pretty good, nice and vibrant with a lot of contrast, and you're not getting a ton of shift or distortion with off-axis viewing until you really start to push it, but overall, I like what we get here, and I think once again for the price, you really can't complain. The internal specs are also pretty solid, which allows for a smooth experience when using this device. It ships with Android 8.0, and it's powered by the Helio P25 octa-core processor at 2.39 GHz, 4GB of RAM, and 64GB of onboard storage, storage with that option to expand it via a micro SD card. You're obviously not getting flagship specs, but all in all, the experience with using this phone is pretty smooth. It does ship unlocked out of the box, so it's good to go on a ton of different networks, and you also aren't getting any extra apps or pre-installed garbage. NU is able to offer a clean and simple Android experience on this device, and I'm a big fan of what you get. Another piece of hardware worth noting on this device is the rear fingerprint sensor. I'll continue to be a fan of this method for unlocking the phones, and on this device, it's fast and fairly accurate and placed very naturally on the rear of the device. I'm glad NU Mobile decided to keep it, and I'm also happy it performs well too. The G3 Plus also packs a 4000 mAh battery, which is a noticeable increase over the previous G3, and this edition in particular is one of the main reasons why this is the Plus device. With 25% more juice, you can definitely avoid the charger a bit more often with this device, and because it isn't powering any crazy specs or internals, battery life overall should be excellent with a phone like this, though I will of course be putting that to the test in my full review. The other thing I'm really eager to try out with this phone is the camera, or cameras actually, since we've got two around back. There's a 13 megapixel primary lens and 5 megapixel secondary lens, which as you'd expect helps with the depth of field during portrait shooting. You can even make adjustments to your portrait pictures directly in the app, which is really useful and not something I see with a lot of these budget phones. So you have the opportunity to get the perfect look and feel with total control over the depth of field before you snap a picture. Up front, there's also a 13 megapixel selfie camera with an 88-degree wide angle. Unfortunately, no portrait mode with this front-facing camera here from what I can tell, but not a huge deal breaker in my opinion. The only other item of concern I noticed in the first few hours I had this phone was the speaker. Coming from a world of loud and crystal clear dual speaker smartphones, the single downward speaker on this device sounds a bit weak. I can live with it, and it's definitely something I've noticed with a lot of other budget brands, so it's certainly not specific to NU or the G3 Plus, but I do hope in the near future that budget smartphones can hit us with a little better audio. All in all, I am really impressed with all the bells and whistles you end up getting, considering this is a phone that retails for barely $230. I think NU has an excellent product here, and if you're in the market for a fresh device and don't feel the need to shell out a ton of cash, look into this phone because I think it's an awesome option. I am going to do a full review on this phone in a couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to a couple new smartphone launches from the folks over at NU this year. I actually did get a sneak peek of some of them at CES earlier this month, which was exciting, so definitely look out for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the NU Mobile G3 Plus in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.